Good evening, everyone. Hope your weekend's been good and you're doing all right now. You've got the joy of just having me this evening. How about it? So we had a busy-ish week of wrestling this week. We had a couple of pay-per-views, all the weekly normal shows and stuff. So yeah, let's get straight into it, I suppose. Start of the week, we obviously have Raw. Get myself adjusted there. So to start off the week, we had Raw. To start off the show, Seth did kind of blindside Bronson Reed. Started smacking him with a suitcase, which was a fun way to start. I don't know what's going on here. I was going to see if I could make myself less big, because just kind of staring at myself is a little bit bizarre. I think this is how it's going to have to be. I'll play around with that at some stage. So to start off with, obviously, like I said, Seth blindsides Bronson Reed to at the start of the show. He then walks down to the ring, orders Bronson Reed to come out and fight. Adam Pearce comes out first. Hey Tommy, hi there. Hit the like button and sub to the channel. Legend, thank you so much. It's just me tonight. Normally there'd be a few more of us, but pleased to have you on board, and Rory's welcome for your input in the comments as well. So thanks for that. Always good to see new people on the streams. So he walks to the ring, orders Bronson Reed to come out and fight. Adam Pearce comes out first and says, "Don't do this." But of course, Bronson Reed comes back out. Security can't stop him. They kind of go at it before security separates them, and then they break free. Bronson tries to go to the top rope and do what he normally does, but he gets shown away. He ends up going through the table as well, because Seth as well managed to roll off in time. Ace, good to have you. Normally we have Jenna on here as well. She is my normal person that comes on, and then there's a lot of others, so it's really good to have you here. Oh, they're flying in. Hey Hassan, good to have you. Not a name I've heard in the comments either, to be fair. So welcome to you both. And yeah, so that was the start. Obviously building up to the inevitable Seth and Bronson Reed. I don't think we're getting it at Crown Jewel. It might be for a later date, maybe so they can build the story up a little bit more, which will be good, because I do think there's something in it. We then had at the start of the tournament that we had regarding the tag team championships. So this one was the first round of match between New Day and Authors of Pain. On paper, you would think that Authors of Pain would win this one, but that really wasn't the case. So New Day win and progress. R-Truth aids the New Day. AOP throw R-Truth in the ring and kind of go to town on him. Kofi wants to go back and help, but Xavier Woods holds him back. The lights go down, and then out comes the Wyatt Six in all corners of the ring. So that's looking like the next feud that we've got with the Wyatt Six is going to be between them and AOP. So we'll see where that goes. I was kind of wondering where they'd gone to, but yeah, that's where we found out. So they've had a little break and now they're back. We then had a little match in the middle between Damage Control and versus Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. It was a really quick match. It ended in disqualification. It ended up really with Liv and Rhea going at it, kind of expanding that storyline. Dom saves Liv, but then Rhea tries to put him into a submission. There has been rumors that they were thinking about having a Dom and Rhea match, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. So Rhea tries to put him in a submission, but then Liv and Raquel Rodriguez kind of save him from that fate. Next up, we had the other first round match for the Tag Team Championships. We had Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus American Made. So LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee progressed through that one. So that culminated in next week. There will be, so as of this evening, next week, when I wrote these notes, it will be LWO, New Day, and War Raiders in the final of that tournament. And then, of course, we had the main event that was Braun Breaker against Jey Uso. This was really, really surprising to me. Really surprising. I thought now they'd given Jey Uso the title, they would keep this on him for a little while, all the hype around him and stuff. But that was not the case. So towards the end of the match, Solo comes to ringside with a t-shirt with Yeet on it. Jey goes out of the ring to face him, but then Braun takes advantage when his back's turned. Braun then spears Solo instead of Jey. Jacob and Braun go face to face, but Jey takes them both out. Tama Tonga, Samoan drops Jey into the announce desk. Braun rolls him into the ring to deliver a super spear to pick up the win and win back the belt. So it's a weird one with this. I don't know where they're going. Because first of all, I was a little bit confused and annoyed that they'd took the title off Braun Breaker. They gave it to Jey Uso for the space of a couple of weeks, and now they've given it back to Braun again. Like, it screams you don't really know what to do, so let's just keep changing title holders. It's just another one of those ones, isn't it? Where it would be nice to see someone keep it for a little while, beat some people, and then lose it, rather than get it, fight a couple of times for it, and then lose it. I don't know. It's one of those ones. Obviously, at this moment, I would probably ask the others their opinions on this, but it's just me here. My opinion is the only one this evening. So next up, we had NXT, obviously the day after. This was on the build-up to Halloween Havoc. That was on Sunday evening, as I watched it today. Hi, Sam. Hi, Lee. I'm guessing it's Lee. This is all for the development on the Bloodline story. I don't want any more Bloodline story. I've had enough Bloodline story now. They just need to pack that in. But we move. NXT. So we had a Damage Control versus Metaphor to start off the night. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven were attacked, so it ended in a no contest. I found that very messy. Jada Parker versus Taken Paxley. Jada Parker won that one. Obafemi faced someone called Luca Crucifino. I've never heard of him before. Obafemi wins that one really easily. Complete mismatch. Obviously, just making him look stronger for the weekend's match. Ethan and Trick then exchange words in the ring, obviously in the lead up to their Devil's Playground match. Soruka then faced Carmen Petrovic. Soruka won that. Then there was a weird segment between OTM and they were against Hank and Tank, and they also had a NASCAR racer with them. It's just like it had no relevance to the thing. I think they just had him as a special guest, as they sometimes do. I've got no idea about anything about NASCAR, so it meant nothing to me. It probably does to some people, though. We then had a main event of Julia and Stephanie Vaquer versus Fatal Influence. So Julia and Stephanie Vaquer obviously won. They then let Fatal Influence spin the wheel for their match against for their match at Halloween Havoc. So the choice of that was a spinner's choice stipulation. We'd find that out what that was in the pre-show of Halloween Havoc. The lights then went down, and out came Zahira. It's a new addition to the NXT roster, and then the show ended abruptly. So that was where we got to on that one. Did you see the video with Trick and Rev Devon? No, I don't think so. Enlighten me. So that was a pretty poor episode, to be fair, of NXT on the lead up to Halloween Havoc. Next up, of course, on a Wednesday evening, we have Dynamite, although I've still got the Raw banner there. So we'll quickly change that. Just change it to AEW. So, on Dynamite side of things, we had Hangman Adam Page starting the show. He starts talking a load of rubbish about Jay White, Juice Robinson, Austin Gunn. Colton Gunn then blindsides him and beats up Adam Page. But Adam Page eventually takes control and goes to strangle him with a belt. But Jay White and Juice jump in as Adam Page kind of limps away. And then Jay White talks some rubbish on him as well, of course. We had Sammy Guevara against Shelton Benjamin. Obviously, a step up from Shelton Benjamin's last opponent. But it was still no matchup for him. And he won that. It's exciting to find out what happens with him, to be fair. How and where they'll put him into storylines or what their plans are. I'm excited about that one. Then there was a video package about Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay documenting kind of their time through Rev Pro and stuff and all the United Empire type stuff to build up the storyline of obviously them being best pals. Kyle then comes to the ring after that BT's ended and basically goes on to say why he did what he did to Will Ospreay. So he says, the fans are as much to blame as you are. Everyone said I was the next big thing. Then you came here. Instead of calling me the next big thing, they called me the next Will Ospreay. I'm bigger than you, stronger than you, and better than you in every single way. He then goes on to say that Will Ospreay stabbed Okada in the back when he first came in, stabbed Kenny in the back, and he taught me the lesson of how to get out of Will Ospreay's shadow. That he's selfish, and I'll give you one chance to come to the ring and face me in this ring next week and face all these people. And he said, then from this day forward, I'm nothing like you. He then gets to a segment where he like shaves his head while screaming, I'm nothing like you. So that was interesting. Not necessarily what I expected to hear or what some might have not expected to hear. But I guess it's a cool way to involve them both in the story. So I'm all down for that. So next up, this has happened a couple of times in this in this Dynamite show, where I was trying to find out who Brian Cage and Lance Archer was actually wrestling when it came about, and I had to do a little bit of digging online, and I found out that they didn't even name the people that they were wrestling. They just called them local talent. Yeah, I don't know about that one. It did happen in a later match as well, where they couldn't even name the people; they just called them local talent. So, in that local talent match, there is no arguments for obviously who's going to win. It lasted less than a minute, that one. So it was a completely pointless thing. Completely pointless. But there we go. Thanks, Lee. I'll have a look in a little bit when I've got through some of this. So there was then the ladder war that was the main part of this show, really built to be the main part, between Mark Briscoe and Chris Jericho. So towards the end of the contest, there's a couple of cool moments. Probably the coolest moment was from the top of the ladder, where Mark Briscoe jumped off and put Chris Jericho through a table. So towards the end, Big Bill kind of came in, threw Mark through two tables that were set up next to each other by ringside. He then carried Chris Jericho up the ladder for him to grab the title. It was a good match until the ending. I think that was awful. But there we are. Ishii then came out and came to stare at Chris Jericho, which could be the next match for that title. Excuse me. So next up, Adam Cole came out to the ring. Adam got the microphone, and as he was saying, like he has done for the last couple of weeks, I've got a story to tell you. Roderick Strong came in and stopped that from happening. He says he got on the mic and said that he wants MJF first. Adam Cole kind of agreed with him and said, well, yeah, okay, fair enough. You can have him first and I'll have him after. Then on the screen, MJF came up in a massage bed and said that Adam Cole and your trailer park pal, whichever one of you wins 3 matches in a row first, I'll give you a match at Full Gear. So he found out what would happen. Goes against what MJF said last week, where he said that Adam Cole is never going to wrestle me. So if he wins 3 matches now, he suddenly can. House of Black then faced my second least favorite part of the show, where again I had to do some digging and found again that it was local talent. Hope this doesn't become a regular thing, because you could at least put the people's names up there and just not call them local talent. I'm sure the people that are the local talent won't be very happy with just being called local talent. So House of Black, this went on for a minute more, which was just fantastic. They won this one in 2 minutes. So so we've got a match earlier on between Lance Archer and Brian Cage with local talent that lasted a minute. And then you have later on House of Black versus local talent that ended in 2 minutes. Yeah, make it make sense. I've linked the video on Instagram, linked it in with the appearance of Bubba Ray Dudley. I will have a look at that soon. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Good evening, Posh Bertie. There was then a match between Camille and Prince Aminata. I think I said that wrong last week as well, so we just go with it. Camille's won that one. Hook then goes on to reveal that it's Christian Cage who attacked Taz, went after him, but Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian helped take Christian Cage out with him as well. So then we got to the main event, which was Jack Perry and the Young Bucks versus Daniel Garcia and Private Party. A match that didn't make any sense right up until the end. So Garcia and Private Party win. Zay from Private Party then asked the Young Bucks for a rematch for the titles from the last pay-per-view. And if they lost, they would split up as a tag team. The Young Bucks agreed. Then Claudio and Wheeler Yuta attacked Private Party, while John Moxley dragged Chuck Taylor to the ring. Orange Cassidy was too late to save Taylor from having his neck stomped into a chair. So we get in this kind of Blackpool Combat Club taking over, shitting on everyone and being the badasses, which is nothing we haven't seen before, to be fair. Then we got to SmackDown. Leo liked this one if he's still here, because it was him that gave me the name for this title. In this little break, I'm going to look what was linked into me. Let's have a look. Turn my sound down. Williams has responded to Ethan Page, and he got Reverend Devon for the video. Ain't no way, Dawg. I'll have a look at that in a little bit. Yeah, Lee, if you're still there, you'll like this one. Is it's your favourite bejazzled title that you called it? I said, why do we keep bringing the belts through the lift in an armoured case like it's the actual crown jewels? Like, we're all making out that it's this absolutely amazing thing when most people couldn't be the least excited for what's going to go down. Start off with SmackDown. Randy Orton kind of confronts Triple H before he goes down to the ring. Triple H kind of goes, well, just go down to the ring. He said that he's doing everything he can to face Kevin Owens at Crown Jewel. He then asked Triple H to come down to the ring. I would have preferred not to. And then Triple H comes out with this line, which was brilliant as he's walking down the ramp. I would have preferred not to do this out here, Randy. But since you can never seem to show up to work on time, we can talk about that later, I guess. We'll have to do this now. He then says, Randy Orton says, why are you protecting Kevin Owens? Triple H eventually gets to it that he said it's not happening. I'm not trying to protect Kevin Owens. I'm trying to protect you. I know you, Ali. It's your favourite, isn't it? I don't know. It's one of the worst looking titles I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to go on limb and say that. I'm going to take down my AW banner since we're talking about SmackDown now. Yeah, so he says, I'm not trying to protect Kevin Owens. I'm trying to protect you. Basically, what Triple H is meaning by that is that he doesn't want him to go back on the shelf permanently this time, rather than just on a little bit of an injury. Orton pleaded with Hunter to let him handle business the way he's always done it in the past. Eventually, Triple H did agree to give him his match at Crown Jewel, but told Randy to watch his own back. So we then next had something that's been building up for weeks on SmackDown, the match series between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. So LA Knight was a special guest referee for this one as well. This one was match 7, with the scores currently between the two of them being 3 wins each. So Carmelo accidentally kicked LA Knight out of the ring. So the US champ yanked him out of the ring and slammed his head into the announce table. Andrade got in his face, and then LA Knight hit him with a BFD. LA then hit Carmelo and rung the bell to announce himself as the winner, even though he was a special guest referee. Yeah. Kind of a little bit of a shit way to end the series that's been building up for a while. But in the grander scheme of things, it was to set up a triple threat between them. But it did kind of put shit to the series that they'd had before, which is a bit of a shame. Naomi and Candice LeRae then had a match. Naomi won that one. Then my two favourites, Cody and Gunther, came to the ring to talk about the amazing fight that they're going to have at Crown Jewel this weekend. I have put Cody and Gunther face to face yawn, same as the last time they spoke. Then we had the final of the tournament, which was between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns. Motor City Machine Guns won that one. Bianca and Jade were then told before the main event that they would be defending the women's tag team titles in a fatal four-way at Crown Jewel. A fatal four-way tag team match. I can't hold my excitement in about how excited I am about that. There was then the main event. The main event was just meant to be the Bloodline coming out to introduce themselves to Motor City Machine Guns, but Motor City Machine Guns asked for their title shot tonight. So Nick Aldis called in a ref and the match was underway. Jimmy showed up and attacked Solo and Jacob Fatu. Roman then joined in, and then a match Jey Uso came down and took out the tag team champs with a chair while the ref was down. Kip Sabian and Alex Shelley took advantage of this and picked up the win. It was a little bit of a mess. It was a little bit mad, but at the same time, it's all right because we have new tag champs. Jimmy and Jay then ended the episode by embracing in the middle of the ring to everyone's delight. So, got to the weekend and the two pay-per-views. So, I'm going to take this banner down. I'm going to make a new one. If it lets me. And bring up this one. So to start off the pay-per-view weekend, we had TNA Bound for Glory. I put it all in capital letters. I don't know why, but there we are. So we had Speedball Mark Bailey and Vikingo to start off the night for an X Division Championship match. It was a great match to start off the pay-per-view. Really enjoyed it, and it's probably my match of the night. On Bleacher Report, they echoed this and said that this was a candidate for the best match of the TNA year of 2024, and very little on the card could eclipse it. If there was one match that you should go back and watch, it was definitely this one. Speedball did retain the title as well. We then had Spitfire versus Wendy Chu and Rosemary in the Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. Wendy Chu and Rosemary dominated most of the match, but Spitfire did retain. This match was okay. After the match, Rosemary delivered a spear to her partner and kissed her forehead, which means the end of their relationship by the looks of things. Maybe even leading to a feud. Then there was Steve Macklin versus Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander defeated Macklin by referee stoppage. The storytelling was on point during this match. It was very physical, fun match to watch. We then got to the Monsters Ball match, which was between PCO and Matt Cardona, and it was also for the TNA Digital Media and International Heavyweight Championship. It all felt a little bit of a mess, all felt a little bit silly, but PCO did retain that. Mike Santana versus Moose. This is my second favourite match of the night, I think. Showed off the best of both wrestlers. Santana did end up defeating Moose. There was then the biggest shock of the night, where we had Jordana Grace and Masha Slamovich. 2 years ago at Bound to Glory, Jordana Grace ended Slamovich's 2 years unbeaten streak, retaining this title. Now they're friends. Slamovich was looking to end Jordana's Grace run with the title, which did end up happening. So we have a new Knockouts World Champion. We then got to the second of the 3 main events that they were billing it. Nick Noah versus Joe Hendry. Frankie Kazarian was the special guest referee. Match was very back and forth, which looked likely for both of them to win, which is always what you want. Late into the match, Frankie Kazarian teased cashing in his Call Your Shot gauntlet title shot, but JBL emerged from the crowd and delivered a clothesline from hell. He then did that to Hendry and Nick Nemeth's brother, which set the stage for the champion to retain. It was okay, not amazing, but not bad all at the same time. So somewhere in that middle. Full Metal Mayhem for the Tag Team World Championships was the last match on the card. With the winners ended up being the Hardys, which is always bound to happen based on how big the crowd pop was for them. So I'll get rid of that one. And your last bit of news is NXT Halloween Havoc. So I was bitterly disappointed with this pay-per-view, really looking forward to it. The first match on that card was a Table Ladders and Scares match for the North American Championship between Tony D'Angelo and Obafemi. Really enjoyed this match for what it was. Was ruined a little bit by the ending. The family came out down to the ring and got involved to help Tony retain. Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. It was okay, but with there being not much build-up and thrown at the last minute, and there not being a match stipulation like all the other matches, it kind of, that all hindered that. But Stephanie Vaquer and Julia did win. There was an ambulance match between Andre Chase and Rich Holland. I thought that was a really dull match to watch. Rich Holland won that one. There was a Women's North American Championship Gauntlet match between Kalani Jordan and Fatal Influence, where one by one Fatal Influence came out. The last one to enter after Kalani Jordan had taken out 2 was Fallon Henley. She defeated Kalani Jordan to become the new title holder. And then you had the main event, which was the Devil's Playground between Trick and Ethan Page. My notes on this are the match was a bit of a mess. It's not really up to the standard of madness that you'd expect in a stipulation called Devil's Playground. It was kind of really tame. After the match, Rich Holland did come out and lay out Trick with the help of Ethan Page. But Beret then arrived to even the odds. And that set up a weird tag match between the 4 of them for when they go to the ECW arena in a couple of days' time. So I think that's the 30th of November. So yeah, this Wednesday. So yeah, my ending note is that it had so much promise. I was really excited about it, but it fully let me down. Probably the worst NXT pay-per-view of the year. So, what a way to end. The normal stuff, you can find us Instagram here, Patreon at the top right. Also, that's here to see all the videos that may have been taken down from YouTube, put them back up. I've got big plans for that when the following comes on that one. That's me, my social medias. And yeah, that's it. A bit of a shorter one tonight because it's just me. But yeah, see you next week.